Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey man, how you doing?
Good, good. Hey, it's Dustin, Alt AZ. We've got Keith and Michael, correct?
Correct.
Atlas Genius. All right, so just announced our School Days Music Festival this fall in October. We're going to have 7 bands there. It's 7 bands we're going to school you on this fall. We've got New Politics, Bully, Ms. Mister, Saint Motel, The Main, and of course, Atlas Genius. So stoked to have you guys coming to Phoenix.
Yes, we're very excited. It's been a while since we've been.
Yeah, we haven't had an alternative station in this market for over 5 years, so we're a new station, and it's kind of exciting for us because all of a sudden we get to help reintroduce the alternative music to this market, and they just haven't had a radio station that has played any of it. I mean, back in, was it 2011 when Trojans got so big for you? I don't even know if there was an alt station here for that. So
I think you're right. Actually, that rings a bell. I think there was just. I think we were being played on. There was a AAA or a high C station. There was no alternative station.
right. Well, we're excited to have you guys. Big things have been happening for you since your last album. You've got the new album Inanimate Objects coming out August 28th, which happens to be my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
That's actually why we did it. It's part of why we're doing this call. Actually,
It kind of works out because our album comes out on your birthday and we play the show with you guys the day before my birthday.
Oh, sweet.
So it's a party for real.
There you go.
So I got to say, the first single, Molecules, between Inanimate Objects and Molecules, almost sounds like a science project. You guys have going on there. What's up with that?
Do that. I did love chemistry and physics in school, but we weren't necessarily thinking about educating the masses when we wrote the song.
We'll talk about the album a little bit. What should we expect? I've heard the first 3 songs that are available on the pre-order so far, and I cannot wait to hear the rest of the song. We're playing Molecules like crazy. The audience loves it on the radio station, but talk about the album for a little bit.
Thanks. Well, this album is probably, I'd safe to say, a lot darker than the first album. It's a bit more aggressive. I think we took a lot of time to do this album. We took a year and a bit off of touring, and which on one hand was great, but also on the other hand, it's a lot of time to sit and be in your own head. So I think there was some periods where I know personally it was dark going through this creative process where you spend so much time in a small studio locked away, and so I think that the result was that a lot of these songs are quite aggressive and dark in comparison to what we did on the first album.
Was there? Did you feel more pressure after the success of the first one to come back with something even bigger and better, or were you just kind of off in your own little world doing your thing?
It was a mixture of. I mean, there is always that pressure when you have a first album that does well, and you come out with a second album. So I'd be lying if I said there wasn't some pressure with that. But on the flip side, I was very excited because we had so much that we wanted to achieve on this album. Because we toured for 18 months, and when you see that many bands and you just get exposed to that much culture,
And we had time as well to experiment a bit more.
Yeah, there were so many influences that came in, and we had time to really experiment and see what felt right. So there was the pressure, but on the upside, that I think we really we had something to say with this album.
As you tour around with the first album and experience, like you said, get all that exposure, not just to the different fans in the different countries, but also the different musicians that you're close to and playing around. Did that inspire a different approach to music for you guys at all, or did it open your mind to new and bigger things, or did it affect it at all?
It made a huge effect on what we were doing. I think that one of the big things is that when you get to play with a lot of bands, especially bands that we really looked up to, and then if you become friends with those bands and you get to tour with them, you see that there's a humanizing effect. They're no longer just this sort of band that you were just idolizing. They're also human beings, and so I think that was the positive effect of that for us was it gives you the license to feel like you're in amongst this community as opposed to being in a small little surf town in Australia where we were when we did the first album, not knowing any of this scene. So and then there's a confidence that comes with that, and so I feel like it's more like a peer situation as opposed to trying to live up to your idols when you're younger.
And with being brothers, how does that affect the writing process? Does that make it easier? Does it make it harder? Does it give you an edge?
Right?
I don't know. It's good. I think it works. I think it's a positive. We have a bit of an edge because we can sort of you can be honest and not worry about offending someone, or if you do offend, you sort of, you're not. It's not going to end the band, or there's be like half an hour of someone being pissed off at you, and then okay, it's all good. So I think in that respect,
there's definitely there's an honesty you get where you're not as cautious about what you say, but of course sometimes then that gets abused by certain members of the Brotherhood.
Apparently, that's me.
And then for the live show, I haven't had a chance to see you guys live yet, unfortunately. So obviously it's you two that are behind the music, and then what do you bring to the stage?
We have two other guys who play with us, actually both from New York.
Okay.
And they're amazing. So that rounds out the band. So there's 4 people on stage when we perform. And
how's the music scene in Australia different from like the United States or Europe? Can you perceive a difference in it, or is it kind of the same all over the world?
I think there's a difference, of course, in taste. If you go to England or you go to Australia, there's bands that are huge over there and aren't necessarily big over here. So there's always going to be that difference. But I think as far as I think it's a healthier scene at the moment in America, in that there's so many radio stations. Like there's new alternative stations like yourself, and each market has alternative stations. And in Australia, because we're a small, in landmass, we're about the same size almost as America, but in population, I think we're only like 23 or 25 million or something. So it's a tiny community compared to what you guys have. And so we only have one like big alternative station. So there's only room for a certain amount of music, whereas here there's a lot more variety, I think, at the moment, which is good.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to let you guys do your thing, but thank you so much for chatting with us today. Like I said, we're super stoked to have you here in October. It's the School Days Music Festival, and Now Music Festival. We're going to have 7 bands. Saturday, April 24th, Mesa Amphitheater here in Phoenix in October. Right now it's like 115 degrees outside, but in October it's going to be cooling off. Should be a beautiful sunny day.
A cool 110.
A cool 100, which actually doesn't feel that bad. Like if it were 100 degrees in New York, you'd be hating life. But here you can kind of get through it. But New Politics, Bully, Ms. Mister, Saint Motel, The Main, and of course Atlas Genius. Tickets are on sale now. altaz933.com. Super stoked to see you guys. Can't wait to hear the rest of the album. August 28th, Inanimate Objects comes out. So congrats on that, and best of luck with the album cycle.
Yeah. Great talking to you.
Yeah, definitely. Cheers.
Cheers. See you.